Don't move around too much, that thing might crash to the ground, you never know.
This is wild. All right, go. Not all at once.
So when you look at that yardage number that they put up, what's your thought? I mean, obviously they had a lot of plays.
Right. I think our group is it just has so much more potential, so much more in the tank, and it's, you know, you enjoy the win, and obviously you're happy about the win, but we can be so much better on defense. You know, we've yet to play a complete game, played our potential, so it's just, you know, I'm happy that we won. I'm happy it's a big time win against a great opponent, but at the same time we need to be better.
What went into the decision to flip AJ down to corner?
He's just such a versatile guy, you know, just giving us some different looks. And then you got a guy in Ish that is just so versatile. It was very cool to see him back there playing a little safety. He's just one of those really savvy football players, you know, and he's got a really good sense for the ball and how the offense is trying to attack us. And it was, I just thought it was our best 11 at times, you know, but at the same time we had the ability to easily go with Priest out there and bump him back to safety and do some different things. So it's a beautiful thing when you have that versatility. You know, he's a true DB. He can play both.
Jaleel just kind of forcing his way onto the field.
Yeah, another guy, just, you know, a youngster that is kind of wise beyond his years. He's kind of like that coach's son, you know, that understands the game at a high level, high football IQ. He's a guy that's only going to get better the more he plays.
Is this becoming a defense where kind of, you know, even if you give up some yards, they seem to come up with a big play when you guys do need one, an interception, forced fumble?
Yeah, I'd like to think that we can come up with a big play when we need to, but at the same time, the yardage that we're giving up at times and the plays that we're giving up at times, it's a little frustrating because I feel like just we have so much more in the tank, you know, and there's going to come games where, you know, we're going to have to win the game for our team. You know, it'd be nice if our offense scores 60 every time we go out, but as we know, it's not always going to be that way, as good as they are. So we just have to get more discipline is what it comes down to, and everybody just commit to doing their job.
Is that just a function of you got a lot of young guys out there?
It's a little bit of that, but I wouldn't say that the mistakes that are made are solely the youngsters. You know, it's kind of guys taking their turn, and when you do that defensively, you know, you're always going to give up big plays. You're always going to give up yards. You're always going to. Yeah, we just need to be more disciplined. Is what it comes down to. Across the board, not just the youngsters. Across the board.
I know you're talking about throwing in more variety in the play calls this week. Do you feel like you threw in enough, or you?
Yeah. I thought we showed some different stuff. We had a little bit more answers. We asked them to learn a little bit more, and I felt like it helped us at times. But still, the execution of every play, I just, you know, I feel like we can be so much better if we just execute at a higher level.
Do you think this defense can run into a championship-like defense?
I do, absolutely. You know, the makeup of the guys that are in this defense, and not just the starting 11, but the guys that back them up, have the ability and the potential to be, one of the best in the nation, if not one of the best in the Pac-12. So, just something. It's just a work in progress. We got to keep committing to the daily grind and practice and improving there. And Saturday has just become the celebration of our work during the week. So, just got to commit to that and continue to get better.
What is the thing you like most about the personnel you guys have?
The guys are so, I mean, it's one thing to want to be great. It's another thing to be willing to pay the price to be great and work every single day and commit to that. And they're starting to learn what it takes, and they're starting to do what it takes on a consistent basis. And it's inevitable when you do that eventually those results will show on Saturday. So just got to keep working. Yeah, keep working.
What was the move like at halftime? That long reception from guys that started up? You see them all year?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where we preach to them on defense to never blink. You know, the nature of the Pac-12, unfortunately, is that they're going to make some big plays. You got some explosive offenses with a whole lot of wide open offenses that make plays, and it's all about that. You know, this conference is it's dangerous in a lot of ways. You know, so it's one of those things where, you know, no matter what, You know, the Texas game when we'd given up the long run late in the fourth and they had scored, they still didn't blink. And in the offense, you know, they went 3 down, they punted, and they still didn't blink. So it's one of those things that they've been very resilient, which is something that, especially for a group as young as we are, it's pretty cool to see.
I think that's kind of the defining characteristic of the.
Yeah, so far, I like our defining characteristic to be our high level of execution at one point. So that's what we're working towards. But as of right now, it's definitely, we talk about competitive greatness, you know, being at your best when your best is required. And they've done that so far.
What kind of impact does it have on your guys when they see Brett after he was, banged up to
Right.
come back and play the way he did once he got settled in?
I mean, that's something that just affects your entire team. You know, I talked to Brett about it before the game on, you know, this is a violent game that we play. And if you're going to play this game, especially if you're going to play it for a living, which I know he has aspirations of doing, you're going to have to be able to play nicked and play at a high level when you're nicked. And he did that today. And he was an absolute inspiration, not only to our offense, our defense, our special teams, the whole thing. To see him go out and not only play well, but tuck the ball and run and jump and finish runs. And I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, I thought that was a great reflection of who he is, not only as a football player, but as a man. Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't inspire you, then you got something wrong with you.
All right, thanks, Barry. Cool.